Hello, everyone. Welcome to the April energy channeling. I know we're a little bit into April, but eclipse season was very intense, and I didn't feel called to do this video until now. I did channel a message from Ozenan about eclipse season, which is the previous video, if you would like to view that. So, if you would like to work with me, head to the description box below the video for all the information on that. I do offer one-to-one sessions with Ozenan. If you are getting value from these videos, please like and subscribe. That brings them to more viewers. It's a huge help for me, and also it connects more people with Ozenan's message. So I'm going to jump right into it. I do not have any idea what they're going to bring through about April. Oh, okay, that was wild. My recording just went in and out. Okay, so I have no idea what they're going to bring through about April, but one more thing that I would like to mention is that in the eclipse channeled message, the eclipse season channeled message, one of the things that Ozenan mentioned was that a very powerful way to receive these transmissions is actually to sit or lay down with your eyes closed rather than watching the video, and be open to receiving. And in order to be open to receiving, all you have to do is just literally in your mind say out loud, I am open and ready to receive. The reason for this is what they pointed out is that these transmissions, yes, there is, of course, a verbal component that your conscious mind is taking in, and there is also an energetic transmission happening. This is also part of the reason why rewatching these transmissions, you will often receive something different when you rewatch. Anyway, so if you would like to sort of increase the benefit that you receive from this transmission, you may wish to lay down and close your eyes, or at least sit back and close your eyes while you listen. Just wanted to point that out. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into it. Yes, we are here, and we are pleased to connect with you in this month of April in your year of 2024. We would like to point out that this month has already been off to a wild start, we shall say, with the solar eclipse that you just experienced recently. This solar eclipse was greatly amplified by the collective frenzy, we shall say, around it. There was a very interesting worldwide attention paid to this particular solar eclipse. And we would argue that this has to do with the collective's energy at this time. The collective has divided into two energetic paths, shall we say? Now, we do not mean to simplify all of reality into two paths. This is simply a visual that we are using for explanation. The collective has divided into groups that are in great fear at this time, and groups that are stepping into great courage. Now, to be clear, courage is not fearlessness. It is feeling fear and choosing to work with that fear and to move with that fear and through that fear and to move forward despite that fear. So truly what is happening is there is much, much, much fear in your collective at this time. And there are many, many humans who are choosing to move forward through that fear, to practice great courage in the face of that fear. There are also many humans who are allowing that fear to dictate their behavior. This was particularly evident in your eclipse season this month of April. It was interesting for us to encounter and experience the immense fear that was leading to a great deal of doomsday type prediction. And we would like to remind you of a teaching that we have shared with you before, and that is that you must discern which predictions you choose to listen to, or if you choose to listen to predictions at all. But when you do listen to predictions, we implore you to feel into how that prediction sits in your body. If that prediction feels tense, scary, uncomfortable, we would recommend that you use your discernment and choose not to put any weight in that particular prediction. When a prediction feels uncomfortable in your body, that means that it is out of alignment with your oversoul, your higher self. For that is the indication that you are out of alignment when you feel uncomfortable in your body. It is one of the indications. And so we would encourage you only to put weight into predictions that feel good in your body. For you are creating your experience through what you believe to be true. So when you accept a prediction, on some level, you are believing that prediction to be coming. And at the same time, you are creating that future. This is important to recognize. And we have spoken about this much before in past transmissions. We just would like to draw your attention back to that, since there has just occurred an event where many, many, many predictions were made and shared publicly. And we would like to discuss the energy of this month with you, reminding you that you should feel into your body as you listen to our transmission, as you work with this transmission, because your body will tell you if what we are relaying resonates with you, if what we are relaying feels true for you, if your body feels tense and fearful and uncomfortable as you listen to our transmission, then very likely this transmission is not for you. And we would ask you to honor that within yourself. Human existence and 3D reality is very much about finding what is true for you, using your discernment to decide what your reality will be. And so, with that said, we are not for everyone. And that is okay. That does not make us wrong or you wrong. It simply means we are not a good fit. So, now that we have mentioned this, we would like to move forward with the energy of April. This month, once again, will be a big one, much like March. There is a great deal of powerful shifting occurring in the collective consciousness of humanity at this time. There are many, many of you who are shedding old ways of functioning in this reality. There are many of you who are opening up to your shadows for the very first time. Many of you who are opening up to your shadows on a deeper level. Now, if it is your first time opening up to your shadow, this can be a very dramatic experience. And you may find that it feels that your world is falling apart externally. What we would like to remind you is that when your world is falling apart externally, that is a calling and an opportunity for you to build an internal anchor. And what we mean by an internal anchor is a centered point within yourself, a stability within yourself, a safe space within yourself that you can visit, that you can go to, and where you support yourself no matter what is happening around you externally. Now, to be clear, this is not an easy practice, although it is actually quite simple. We have discussed this in past transmissions, but we would like to remind you of the practice of finding, creating, and getting comfortable in your heart space. This is something that we have shared in private transmissions over the past several months, and we would like to share publicly with you here. Your heart space is the part of you deep in your center. You can imagine it as being in the center of your chest, where you can go to find comfort, to find safety, and to connect very deeply with yourself. To begin to get familiar with this space, we would encourage you to close your eyes and visualize a very comforting place, a place where you feel completely held, supported, and safe. For an example, we will share the channel Brittany's heart space visualization. When Brittany connects with her heart space and enters her heart space, which she does quite regularly now and in recent times, she envisions a cabin, almost like a burrow. And in this burrow, there is a big, beautiful fireplace with a big, beautiful, warm fire roaring. There is always warm, comforting drinks, such as tea, that she can hold and sip on. And there are many cushions all around on the floor in front of the fire and rugs so that she can sit comfortably in front of this warm fire. This is the heart space that Brittany, the channel, goes to when she is in need of comfort, safety, and when she wishes to hold herself deeply. Your heart space may be very different. It may be outside. It may be simply a feeling. Maybe you are not a visual person. It doesn't have to be a visualization. Although if you are able to visualize, which most of you are, we would recommend visualizing a space that you can enter in your mind when you need comfort and safety. So we would recommend for those of you who feel that your external world is highly challenging at this moment, we would recommend that you develop this heart space and that you begin going there. Begin going there and sitting there comfortably. And in this space, we also would recommend that you allow yourself to feel and release emotions that this external turmoil or this external, we could say dysfunction, because from your point of view, it may feel dysfunctional. The emotions that this external dysfunction may be bringing up for you need to be felt, and they can be felt safely in this heart space. This is a powerful practice that you may wish to begin if you fall into the category of someone whose external world is in great turmoil at this time. Now, some of you are simply reaching a new level of shadow work and a new level of facing your shadows. And for those of you who are at this new level of facing your shadows, we know that many of you have many internal tools already established. We know that you have experienced initial dark nights of the soul, as many of you call it, and that it is more familiar for you to be facing your shadow. However, we would like to remind you that this new layer of shadow that you are facing is new and different from what you have looked at before. It will feel challenging, and at the same time, on the other side of this new level of shadow work will be great freedom, great expansion, and great beauty and light. For as you know, the polarity of your world means that after you go deep into a shadow within yourself, you will emerge in greater light and expansion than ever before. These light and dark elements balance each other in your reality. The beauty of this is that there is a guaranteed, we could call it reward, for going inside and allowing yourself to deeply, deeply explore and feel your shadows. And what we mean by shadows, in case there are individuals here wondering, which we sense that there are, what we mean by your shadow is the parts of you that you have deemed unlovable, bad. This comes from conditioning. Parts of you that because you have deemed them wrong or bad, your psyche has chosen to protect you from by not allowing you to see them. So these are parts of you that you cannot see, that are unconscious. And there is a great opportunity in your month of April of 2024 to shine the light on some of these parts of you that you have not been able to see before. It is a great opportunity to bring these to the surface. And we would like to also share with you that this will be happening on a collective level as well. It has been happening on a collective level for years, as all of you know, and there will be an acceleration of this in this month of April. Now, we do not wish to incite fear with these messages, for April is a powerful transition period for all of humanity and for you on an individual level. And we know that if you are viewing this message, you are oriented towards expansion. You are oriented towards love. You are oriented towards a world that is more equitable and more kind and more based in a foundation of love. If you are watching this message, this is likely what you desire. And so we would encourage you in this month to focus your attention on what you wish to see rather than fighting against what you do not wish to see. And as we have expressed in previous messages, the same action can come from the energy of fight and resistance or the energy of love and calling in. So, for instance, if you would like to see a world where there is no war and pain and violence, you can take an action such as donating to organizations that will help to call this world in. However, if you take that energy of donation, if you take that action of donation from the energy of fear and resistance and anger and sadness, then that action will be imbued with that energy. However, if you take that action of donation from an energy of love, of hope, of kindness, of calling in what you wish to see, then that action, that donation will be imbued with that energy. So in this month of April, especially, we would ask you to pay attention to the energy from which you take your actions. We would also encourage you to pause when you are in fear, resistance, and sadness, and allow yourself to feel those feelings before you move into action. For some, this will be a month of deep grieving. For others who perhaps have been in the process of deep grieving recently and maybe for quite a while now, there is a return to the light. We shall call it a return to the light. There will be an opening. You will feel complete, many of you, in one layer of your grieving process. We never wish to imply that grief is over forever, because grief is a part of human experience. However, this particular cycle of grief will be ending for many of you, and you will find that the light is bringing through ideas, actions, innovations even, for both your personal life and the lives of the collective. This will be in the later half of your month when this becomes very, very obvious. And for those of you who experience this opening, you will be called to lead by example those who are deep in the depths of grieving. And for those of you watching, if you find yourself in the depths of grieving in this month of April, please know that this is not wrong, that you are not behind, that you are not less than, that you are absolutely where you need to be, and it is perfect. And this deep grief that you are experiencing will lead you to the light and to an opening and to expansion. Simply because there are others in your world who have already done this deep grieving in this cycle does not mean that you are wrong for being in the deep grieving place. We would like to emphasize that every single one of you has a different path, a different curriculum, a different course of events that will take place in your lives. And comparing yourselves to others will not serve you. Instead, allow and honor exactly where your path takes you in this month of April. The last thing that we would like to share with you about this month of April is that it is the most intense point of your year of 2024 until you reach the end of 2024. And so take time to care for yourself in this month. Take time to be in stillness as much as possible and as much as feels good for you. And know that after this month of April, the energy will feel a bit more level. There will still be great expansion occurring, but the energy will feel a bit easier to navigate. And so we would like for you to look forward to that, knowing that the events and the energy of April will be catapulting you forward, and this is a very beautiful thing. And that is all for today. With love, we thank you. Okay. Oh, thank you everyone for tuning in. Ooh, it was very high energy transmission. If you did not listen to it laying down with your eyes closed, you may wish to go back when you have a chance to do that and allow yourself to receive the energetic transmission. I mean, you'll receive it a little bit just by listening, of course, but you can really allow it into your system if you want to. It was very, very high energy. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Once again, if you'd like to work with me, head to the description box below. I do have a new program coming. It will probably be opening in June. It will be a 3-month program. It's called The Portal. I am just finishing up with the first round of The Portal now. We're in our final week, and it has been incredible, just incredible. It's the first program that I have co-created with Ozenan, and I will be sharing more information about that in future videos. And also If you go to the description box below, there is a connection to my website where I do discuss the portal. All right, everyone, have a beautiful April and a beautiful week. I'll catch you next time. Sending you all so much love.